What is the source of your financial problems? I've spent 6 months and hundreds of hours poring over political records, interviewing bank executives, and trying to see what is wrong with the news media and the way they... Oh my gosh, we have breaking news. Guys, I think after all of this time investigating, I finally found out the source of all of your financial problems. And it is... The biggest problem here is when the media is reporting on the economy, do you know what they always say? That the economy is doing terrible, that inflation is really high, that Gen Z is never going to be able to make it, and honestly, it's just a depressing scene. But do you know why they report that? It's not necessarily because it has to be true for you, it's just because that's what sells clicks, and that's how news companies make money. So you don't have to be a part of that. And more than that, just because the economy as a whole isn't doing great doesn't mean that your personal financial situation has to be in the gutter. And as soon as you break free of that mindset of blaming the economy for your own personal problems, you open the door to a whole new world of living a better life. And that better financial life starts with taking a look at your lifestyle. If you go to another country, like let's say Mexico, where I lived for a couple of years, you can see that there are people living and having happy lives for $1,000 a month, $500 a month, and it's not that much of an issue. Now, things are cheaper in Mexico, but they're not 5 times cheaper than they are here. So it makes you wonder, what is it that we're spending money on here that we don't actually need? And that's when you start realizing, maybe a crappy old car is all I need and not a brand new one. Or maybe I don't need a car at all. Or that apartment that I have is $500 more expensive than this one right here. And sure, it's not as nice, but I don't really need that other one, and it doesn't make me any happier. And so as you discover all of these things in your life, you start shaving off $50, $100, $300 a month from your budget, and you start finding room to do things that you didn't have room for before, like putting money into your 401k, saving for your future, putting money into an emergency fund. All of a sudden, even if you don't have the best job, or even if you live in a more expensive area, you're able to take what was a difficult financial situation and turn it into a good one, even when inflation is kind of kicking your butt. When you've brought your lifestyle to a place where you're only spending money on the things that are actually bringing you joy, you start discovering those little ways that you can optimize your financial life to make it a little bit better. You start realizing that credit cards are generally a really bad idea to use, and car loans are predatory more often than not. You start realizing that you get marketed a lot of things that aren't actually going to make you any happier, and you often end up wasting your paycheck on things that you forget about a month from now. So, when these things happen and you start realizing it, your financial situation gets even stronger, again, even while the economy is crashing and dying. And I get it. There are some things that are completely out of your control that can really mess up your financial situation. A lot of them, you can mitigate that risk by using insurance, but sometimes you're just down on your luck, and that happens. But in 95% of people's situations, the difficulty is caused by their own poor decision making, not by the economy being bad. And I know that's a controversial opinion that I have, but it's one that's only become stronger the more research I've done into it. So I hope I've convinced you that it's important to take responsibility for your own financial situation. But whether or not I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. I know this is a difficult topic, and I don't want to pretend like there isn't any nuance to what I'm talking about. And if you liked this video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. This takes a lot of work to make, and I really appreciate it when you do.